else in the league with certain qualities. When this dude played, there was no one in the NBA that had the same qualities as Mr. Charles Oakley, who we finally got.
CO! He looks like a heavenly angel, backlit with white.
What's up, dude?
What's up? Did K find you? Did Kevin find you?
No, man. I was waiting. I'm in Toronto right now. I did
that where you are?
Showtime yesterday.
But I just text KE. He was trying to look for you for me. I was like, where's CO at?
No, I've been waiting. Next thing I know, was like my guy called me like, "Oh, you missed the call." I'm like, "I've been waiting, so I'm here."
I'm good, man. I'm glad to have you with us, man. Here, if you don't know, Charles Oakley is arguably the best high school basketball player to come out of Cleveland, right?
No,
him and Clark Kellogg.
Oh
no, Charles.
That's
Charles, you know,
praise,
I call a spade a spade. Like
I appreciate the love,
he been like that since we was kids,
yeah.
Right? And you know, Oak, you know what I always get asked about?
What?
That game when we played at Hay. You remember what happened?
Warrensville?
Yeah, when we played at Hay, the guy that came out the stands.
Oh, well, it happened a lot of John. Hey, you know.
What happened, Brad?
So me and Charles
they asked me a lot of it too, Brad.
We get ready to tip it up, and so Charles and I, John Hay, and suddenly some guy runs out the stands with a gun.
Oh, my God.
He runs like between me and Oak. The police have chased him out the thing.
What?
And then, hold on, Charles and I stepped back. Yeah. They let the guy get out of here. 2 minutes later, they said, "Y'all ready to tip?" I leaned over to Oak. I told Oak, I said, "Oh, that's how y'all do it down here. All right, let's go."
This is, you know, Charles. This just goes to show you what type of era y'all came up in. When I grew up, we used to always watch it, and at the time, I'm about 41, so I caught you right when you was playing for the Knicks. And when you talk about the Knicks era, I was just like, they got 75 power forwards. They got X-Man, they got Charles Oakley, Mason, they got, Charles Smith. Yeah, so when you played,
don't mention Charles Smith to Knicks fans.
Yeah, well, listen, right, you're right. He missed 3-4 bunnies, but I digress. When you look at that,
he did get fouled.
Yeah. When you look at that era, and kind of explain the difference between then and now. Like, what's the biggest thing the game has changed? And why is it that so many of the veterans is like, listen, man, if I was playing right now, I'd be making $75 million and I'd be getting 30 points a game. What is the biggest difference between now and then, in your opinion?
I think when we came out, we was ready to play. These guys coming out now is not ready. So you're waiting for opportunities, these guys. You still have to pay them. But we didn't get paid. Even though we was ready to play, come in the game. Brad, I came in a year before Brad. Brad come in. I was there. It was 3 power forwards. We had to work for our job. They didn't give us job. And I think that the way the game had changed, you got that stretch 4 and 5. I mean, basketball is basketball. You still got to put in the hoop. You got guys taking more shots, but the field goal percentage is a lot lower when we played. So it's a lot of difference. But when you see these young guys, they don't want to hear about the older days. But when we came in the game, we had to hear it, had to play through it. So it's a lot more easy to play now. Everybody said, well, we could have played back then. No, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
It's easy to play now. All you got to do is run them down the court.
Hey, Charles, tell them
and
this.
You're going to get shots now. Back when me and Brad plays, you get opportunities, maybe 5 or 6 shots a game. And these guys now getting 10, 12 shots, and they can go 0 for 8 and still keep shooting. When we were 0 for 3 or 4, we had to find something else to do in the game.
You ain't lying. Chuck, tell them this, though. What's up with these dudes taking the days off? What is that about, Charles?
Hey, that's the new thing now. You can pay a guy $50 million. He play when he want to play. And I think why Brooklyn didn't trade Kyrie to the Lakers, because when LeBron went to, they played Brooklyn and the Knicks. He didn't play the Brooklyn game, but he played the next day with the Knicks. So I think the owner is holding a grudge. That's why they sent him to Dallas instead of to the Lakers. Because, the owner in Brooklyn, he's something special. He do a lot of things. And it's just a low man. I don't get it. I mean, you healthy, play. They talk about the sides that, well, guys shouldn't play with so many games, so many back-to-backs, but I don't know. Hey, the owners ain't mad. I can't be mad. So it is what it is. They're going to try to lock them out. But how can you lock out a league that 90% of the guys?
Hey, Charles, Brad says all the time Steph Curry could not play when you guys played?
Not to that level.
Or not, okay.
It was definitely been a different game. Moving around, this and that, he would have to run through the paint. So guys, you couldn't run freely through the paint back then. They're going to bump you. They're going to tap you.
Charles, tell them what would happen to you. Tell them what would happen to you cutting through there if you get going.
Oh, you're going to get bumped. You're going to definitely get bumped. Maybe twice. Not now. He run through freely. I see it all the time. But my thing is, the most important thing when you got a score like that, the guy whoever passed to the shooter, the big guys don't stunt no more. So he automatic. Why if the guy trailing Curry, the big guy, whoever checking the guy who passed for the stunt in for him, give him time to catch up with him. But they don't do that. You see, defense is so lazy now. That's why these guys can excel for scoring now.
You know, Charles, one thing that as I find fascinating in taking a look at your career and even post-career, you are have a passion for cooking, right? You are phenomenal on the sticks, man. When did you get into cooking, and what got you into that? And what do you think your favorite thing, your favorite dish to cook?
Well, what got me into cooking, like when you playing in the NBA, when we played, we had to get our own bags, have to do this, carry them to the bus, wake up call. We had to get up, be grown man, get up on our, they ain't call us. We wake up, you had to either come to the bus, come on time, or miss a bus. So you get a lot of principles. So my thing with on the road was we eat so much food, and I'm real picky. So I said, let me learn how to cook. So when we come home from on the road, I don't have to go out and eat. I just cook at me at home and relax. So all that just picked up over my years in the league. But my cook, my grandparents, my mom, they great cooks. So all that come in play with that. And I just learned how to cook the basic meals first, and then you work your way up.
Charles been cooking like that for a long time. Remember the big spaghetti pot you would cook in Chicago? Invite everybody over for spaghetti?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not going to remember this. We was in Charlotte because we was traveling commercial. So he and I go to get some breakfast in Charlotte Airport. And he asked for, tell him how you like your bacon, Charles. How you like your bacon?
Look like me. Well done.
and so they brought him some bacon that was some chewy bacon that day. He went off. I was like, oh, Lord. He gonna tell the dude about the waiter. I said, didn't I ask you for some well done bacon? I was like, this is like 8 in the morning. I was like, oh, Lord, what is going on here?
Yeah. Hey, one thing about me, the guys they like to go out with me, but when it comes to food, they don't like to be in a restaurant when I order. Because I have a presentation when I order. I tell them exactly what I want, but not, I'm sending it back. I'm like 90% sending meals back my whole career.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's just like guys
Hey, Charles,
I'm real picky.
The fact that you didn't play for the Cavaliers out of college. What was that whole experience like for you, being drafted by the Cavs, then dealt to the Bulls? What was that like?
Well, they had called in advance, said it's going to be a pick trade, so I didn't get my hopes up high. My thing is, it might have been a good thing not going back to Cleveland, because when I was in Cleveland growing up, it was a lot going on, and a lot of my friends in and out of jails, and you never know, I could have got caught up, but it all worked out. My man Jay Crawford so down south at a Division II Virginia Union to draft a guy like me. I give him a lot of props. A lot of people just throw him on the bus. So I just came out with a book about 7 months ago, and I praised Jerry Krause in the book about a lot of things. And I think the guys keep throwing him on the bus about in the Bulls organization. But I tell everybody, Jerry Krause named the check. It's Jerry Reinsdorf. But when Scotty didn't get a new contract with MJ, it wasn't Jerry Krause. Every owner, every big corporation can have a scapegoat, and that was Jay Krause in Chicago.
Wow. Yeah, interesting. What's your favorite story playing with Michael Jordan and your favorite story playing against Michael Jordan?
Wow, it's a lot of stories. I just try to say, I remember my rookie year, he took me to the All-Star game, and, we was in Dallas, and that's the year Sport Will won the dunk contest. And, we were just regular two guys getting out of wasn't private. Most other All-Star was private. So after that year, he went private every time. But anyway, we get the baggage plane. We had baggage plane, get our own bags.
Wow.
And one thing, the guy was like, that's Michael Jordan. And, I wasn't nobody. I was just a rookie. So, so we get both our bags. And it's just like, we check in the hotel. It's like we checking in. Now, if you get to the league now, none of the guys check in for themselves. They got their assistant or somebody else bringing the keys. It's just so. But my thing with that happened, the whole All-Star, he never left the room in 3 or 4 days. He didn't go nowhere. I went out. He just stayed in the room. And, I think that playing with him showed me a lot of things about learning, lesson, how to treat people, how to advance yourself within the game. My story is not great, but I can tell you a lot of good things came out of, playing with him and playing in Chicago. And then Brad came, and he showed you that we were a real close-knit team because we did, even though he was Michael Jordan, we go in and shot a video together. We would hang out, tear up hotel rooms, fighting one another. It was all real close. We didn't know where we was going. We just trying to, make the team and last in the league.
Hey Charles, I was telling about the last week. Tell about on the plane we fly commercial, the major league and the minor league.
Oh yeah. Well, you talking about when the rooks had the best in the best?
Yeah. With the tunk games, major league and minor league.
Oh yeah, the tunk games. Well, we always Sedale 3, Pete Myers. We had Mike Brown. We had a bunch of fun guys. When I first got there, we had some guys who wasn't really following the rules too much. And Michael Jordan talked about it in that Last Dance. Got a lot of people upset about because he said it was a lot of drugs around, and it was. You can't sweep it under the rug. It was a lot of drugs around. Yeah. Listen, when you get 12 guys that shoot around when games started, you only got 8. So four guys didn't make it. You know what they was doing. It was crazy. We went through a lot my rookie year, and to get out of that safe and alive, and I knock on wood because I was brought up around drugs a lot, so I know that if I ain't used it by the time I got to the league, I wasn't going to use it because it was around me since like 6th or 7th grade.
By the way, I remember I was telling the story how I was the security guard, like the school security guard for Knicks rookie camp, because you guys, when you were with the Knicks, Charles, you practiced at SUNY Purchase, right?
SUNY Purchase, yes.
I was a freshman at SUNY Purchase in 1989. I went there for 1 year. I got kicked out of school after 1 year. I was not meant for that school. But I got to be like the security guard, like the fake security, until all you guys came with Patrick and everybody with the real security. But I remember shooting around at rookie camp with Brian Quinnett and Greg Butler. They let me shoot around with them once because I was guarding the gym for just those two guys. And I was telling the story because it showed you how great NBA players were, that guys like Quinnett and Butler, who were last, end of the bench guys who didn't play in the league that long, they were knocking down threes in practice, and they were hitting everything.
Well, you have to be able to do something to be on the team and get drafted. Something for when you do your report, you got to have something that, like, okay, every team needs 12 guys. We know that. But can these guys in practice make another guy better by working hard, not just being on the team, just I'm getting a check? And that's what you get in today's game. They just put guys on the bench now can't play dead. I probably gonna go still make a team. I really got in shape and tried.
They could play dead at a funeral, right? Hey, Charles.
Butler and Gwinnett, they, two white guys. Butler could post up so he can, be in practice, so he competition because he was 6'10", and Gwinnett was more of a wing. So they worked it hard, and like I said, he played 5 or 6 years in the league. But soon the first was something special because when he had to go to practice, it was so simple, so easy. Yeah. I know Patrick. Patrick. We had a time. I remember the book. We just had fun. It wasn't long, but we just had fun. We planted the seed, even though we didn't win a championship. Myself and Brad there, but the team was coming. With Mike, what he could do night in, night out. If you go by and get the great players, how the Magic, Micah, Kobe, LeBron, all the guys carried themselves for a long period of time in the league, and you can see that all of them guys won rings. Yeah. Now the Patrick, Barker, and Karl Malone, why they win a ring? Because they couldn't carry guys on their back. They couldn't make other guys better. Everybody just named guys better in their own way, and that's the most important thing to leave. Can you have your best player can carry a team and win a championship? And that's what the game is all about, winning the championship.
Hey, Charles, let me ask you a question. I know that you've had your issue with the Knicks. How are you standing with the Knicks these days?
Well, I'm still outside. You know, they banned me twice, and we had a station. Matter of fact, we got a open argument on April the 19th. Gonna be a big decision.
Okay.
It's just bad the way that happened. How
That's
it
just
happened.
awful. That's
And
awful.
Dola is a disgrace.
Disrespect. If you look at it, it's still going on. This man just turned back his mother and daughter from the Radio Music City Hall from a play her daughter was going to. He had a face recognition. So the lady who came to bring her daughter to the show worked for a law firm. So in a law firm who told him, no matter what position, what role you play in that company, if you work for this company, he had a face that you cannot come in none of his business, like the Beacon, Madison Square Garden. I mean, you can't. This lady is just a lady working to make a living, have nothing to do. She's maybe a clerk or either a front office person. He hold everybody hostage. Like, it's really messed up for the league. My thing is, because what he's doing is making the league look really bad.
So, Charles, tell me this, because you and I had this conversation, and I'm walking people back through this. Remember, I called you after the thing jumped off. I said, what happened, CO, in the garden? You said, as soon as you got in the door, they basically surrounded and accosted you. As soon as you came in the garden, right?
Yep. I walked down about 30 flights of steps, sit in my seat. I just left a meeting with four other guys. And sit there, saw Wayne Gretzky. The lady come ask me what I want. I said I want a Coke and some popcorn. 4 or 5 minutes later after that, I was in there probably like at most 8 to 10 minutes. Next thing you know, here come 8 guys. I'm like, what's going on? They said, well, you got to leave. I said, leave for what? And they just did after that. They started grabbing on me, and one thing led to another. He tried to say I hollered at him. I didn't even come nowhere in contact with him. I didn't know he was there until Wayne Gretzky came and spoke to me. Not Wayne Gretzky, John McEnroe. It's a sad situation. Because then you turn around what he did to Spike Lee. Then what he did to Patrick. He's a control freak. So my thing is, he just doing too much over the top. It's disrespect. People spending their own money to come in there. Ain't like I had bought them tickets that night. They didn't give me them tickets. So I don't know what's going on. He's just a lot. I don't know. He just like a lot of attention. He's a control guy. And this stuff been going on. Not just the owner in Phoenix been doing wrong. This man been doing the same thing for years and years. So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah. He ruined the franchise.
Charles, what I want to do, I can't believe that. Bad job out of us. We done talked about all this stuff. We didn't even get to the real deal. I need to do some name association. I'm going to throw a name out at you, and you give me the first thing that comes up.
Okay.
You ready? Let's go with Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, man. Sneaky.
All right. That's good. I like that. Charles Barkley.
I ain't got nothing to say good about Charles, but
that's okay.
I don't know, because my thing is he mad because he always said why I talk about him. I said, Charles, you talk about the younger kids now. When you played, you talking because somebody was winning your mouth. So I'm just saying, he's taking advantage of the situation on TNT.
Okay, he's taking advantage. I like that. Alonzo Mourning.
I say he's a workaholic. I can say that.
He's trying to be PC.
Scottie Pippen.
Underrated.
Okay. Ooh. That's a nice one. Magic Johnson.
What the world look for? A great smile and a Hall of Fame.
Last but not least, Jeff McGinnis.
Jeff McGinnis. He should know who to pick his fight. He should have Mayweather.
Wait, we gotta ask Brad Sellers.
What?
Or Brad.
One of Cleveland's great. I mean, Brad set the bar.
No,
he's a 7-footer, probably only 7-footer. Made 7-footer went to two Big Ten schools, and end up in the draft, top 10 pick.
No, we forgot one though. Hold up, Brad. We forgot. What about Xavier McDaniel? Take the video.
The X.
Oh, we got the video.
Oh yeah, it's on X. Watch this.
Yeah, this was good.
Underside power forward.
Hey, Oak, so they showing the video. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
remember that scrap? And I was like, oh man. And both of them friends of mine, right? And I was like, I'll come in here in the end. I'm trying to separate. I said, when I got in there, they was throwing haymakers in this thing. I was like, it was just body shots. I was like, and the referee didn't want to break it up. Didn't nobody want to touch him. And then afterwards, Charles comes after the game. He's waiting. We going out to eat. And Charles, we going to the restaurant. Charles telling me, tell your boy X I'm going to get him. And then I get on the plane the next day, and X like, tell your boy Oak I'm going to get him. I'm like, oh, my God. I said, what is wrong with
Today
Charles?
there'd be a pay-per-view
we
boxing
end up
match.
playing, we ended up playing 2 years in New York together.
Yeah, I know, right?
We played in New York together. I was like, I seen X-Men.
I used to kill him in practice every day because you know our practice they know how to bounce. I just run his ass over.
Oh yeah, you play. You only win hard.
I missed those fights.
Mike, before you get to the last question, Charles, tell him this. How hard was this? How hard did we go?
Oh, we went real hard. But we went hard in Chicago, but in New York we went harder. It was another tier. Pat Riley, hey, that's why a lot of guys kind of mad at Pat Riley. But my thing is, I say when you're in shape, you ready to go to war. So a lot of guys they used to a certain way, but Pat Riley, he gonna ride you. He not gonna let you get away with something. If it ain't right, he gonna make you do it over. Cause we used to tape for shoot around.
Oh,
I ain't too many teams tape for shoot around.
Tape for shoot around.
You getting your ankles taped?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Crazy.
If we lose a game we should, win, we're gonna have tape, and we got back to back. We ain't gonna have that day. We're gonna practice the next day. We went to war.
And if y'all don't know, they love Charles Oakley in New York and Chicago and Chicago.
Well, I was in my 20s when Charles Oakley was playing in New York, and everybody loved that team.
Yeah, that was a great team.
Wait, Charles, before we let you go, tell us about your foundation real quick and what good things you guys are doing.
Yes, the Oakley Foundation and the Oakley Hung. We last year, I'm glad we on the air. So last year was my first year with my Oakley Foundation, once we got all the paperwork straightened out. And I had the big event in Cleveland last year. I did 4 things in Cleveland. And NBA, I call them up, they know what's going on. I call them like 8 months before, they know they come to Cleveland. And I talked to them a couple of things about what I was doing. So to make a long story short, by the time a week before, they backed out of everything they said they was going to do. So I had a weekend, I did 5 different things. NBA didn't contribute nothing. They didn't invite me to the cocktail party, to the game, to the historic Black College game, to be a judge of the. They didn't do nothing with me. And guess what happened this year at Utah? They put my name on the picture at the luncheon.
No, they didn't.
Last year in Cleveland under Carmelo and Jesse Jackson. So this year in Utah, they put my picture up on the board like I'm there in town. I didn't even go.
Hey,
they were so embarrassed that.
Oh, before you, because I know your foundation. Listen, here's a man that cares about his community. Always has, right? And is always working behind the scenes to get things done for people. He does stuff that people don't even know what he does, right? Because he got a heart like that. But before we go, see y'all, I got to ask you, right? LeBron or MJ?
Hey, I keep telling y'all, it's Frosted Flakes and Corn Flakes. Both of them in the cockpit. But MJ flying it. And LeBron in the cockpit, in the co-pilots, both of them can fly the plane. But you know what? When the CEO and the vice president, you have to have a Tyler. So both of them is in the cockpit. And I always tell everybody, it's MJ, LeBron. LeBron, no, I mean, we be together all the time.
You keeping it 100.
That's my feeling.
You keeping it 100.
I know over his career and done a lot more. MJ only played 15 years. He played 20. So he lasted longer. That's going to be better because LeBron been a career average 27. On 1 year, he's going on 26 points. His rookie year, 22 points.
Yeah.
So after that, he got a career that ain't nobody can never. Kareem last 3 years he played 20 years. His last 3 years was like 13, 14, 17. LeBron last 3 years was 30.
Right. You're right.
So Kareem is there. He always talk. Kareem is my thing is Mike, LeBron, Kareem. We got Kareem, then LeBron. Now I got LeBron second.
Okay.
All right, very good.
All right, CO, man.
All right, man.
Charles, thanks, man.
What's wrong with second? You still didn't.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No.
Brian, who you got?
I got
Who you
MJ. You know I got MJ.
He's on MJ's payroll. Don't worry.
I ain't on the payroll. I saw the work.
He took a lot of free Nikes.
I saw the work. I stole a couple of MJ. What's up?
Only one guy can check MJ.
Say it again.
One guy. I tell all the time. Huh?
Who can check him?
I
Oh,
said
Pete
there's only
Myers.
one guy can check
Pete
him, Jay.
Myers.
I say it all the time.
Pete Myers.
Pete Myers. Yep.
Pete Myers. Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Pete Myers.
You ain't lying. You not lying.
Talk trash to him.
Talk
all
trash
this
to him
broad
all day
shit.
long.
I ain't never seen nobody get into MJ like Pete Myers.
Like Pete Myers
Every day,
did.
Friday,
Yep.
I mean, like once a month. Not every day.
This every day.
Wow.
This every day.
That's crazy.
Even walking to the practice floor talking to him.
Charles, that's right.
He's disqualified now.
Shout out to my man. As we let Charles go, let's shout out to my man
Charles, great
All right,
job,
man.
man.
Thanks, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
All right, guys, let me know. I come back.
I appreciate you taking up on me with Doug on the plane when I was suspended.
Oh, no doubt. You should have told him that story. I ain't dug up. And the last dance, last thing, all right, because this is getting real greasy. Because that last dance, they know why Doug got fired. See, that's why I'm saying. They know it. Like Brad, no. They know. They lied about that. It ain't because he lost in the second round, the semifinals. It because something else. So
quiet.
the last dance, they dancing around a lot of stuff. So if you want the real answer, you call the oak tree.
All right, CO.
Brad, no.
I know. You know I know. All right,
Okay.
CO, be good, baby.
All right, man. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
See you.
All right.
Spill the tea.
Tell us the story.
I mean, you're not going to